Today, I am going to share with you how to deploy agentic automations in ChatGPT in only 3 steps and under 10 minutes. Okay, so this is one of those hidden gems, diamonds, gold, whatever you want to call it, that isn't being talked about enough. Okay, so one of the newest capabilities that came out, if you look at it, is, and I'll look at this through the lens of basically a new chat thread, right? Is O3. And I just released another video. If you did not see it, it was released last week. But basically, all these different capabilities, there's O3, which in here is advanced reasoning. Now, this is a significant upgrade to O1. If you compound it with memory, which I show in the last video as well, go back and check it out if you missed it. You could do some ridiculously insane things. Now, what you can see here is this popping up. Would you like to schedule an O4 mini to schedule tasks, right? So let's look at that. Let's take a look at that. Let's click learn more. All right, so within here, it walks through specifically what you need to do to set this up, but you don't need to read this because I'm going to show you right now, okay, how to do this really simply, fast, and easy. And I'm going to even show you the outcomes of one that I created. All right, so this is the process that I would recommend going through. First of all, you start with O3. Now, I created a chat thread and I also created a folder, a project folder. So I have automations folder where I'm going to do daily and weekly tasks. And I'm going to show you the chat thread that I created and you'll be able to see the tasks that are in here. Now, I'm going to start all the way at the top. One of the biggest areas that people don't know is like, okay, first of all, what's even possible a task? So I started at the very basic level of how can you run tasks for me? Sounds simple and almost to the level of stupid, but the good thing is it broke down in 5 key categories how you could create tasks. One-off recurring reminders. So that's more like just a reminder system. You could use it on your phone. Not super impressed with that, but if you want to use one interface, it's good. Schedule. Okay, you want regular updates. I mean, a daily digest of PE-backed security M&A headlines. Really good for your industry vertical that you're working with. Conditional watchdogs, right? Keep an eye on something and ping me. For example, if a stock price goes below a certain level, if a PE event happens, I think these are some good areas, or SEC filing mentions, maybe an earnings report. So if I, for example, if I was filing earnings reports for Google, Microsoft, Meta, Facebook, not Facebook, it's Meta, I could start to have those just automatically fire, right? Active tasks like pause weekly KPI reminder. And that's the other one in terms of managing it. I'm sorry. This is basically just how to manage it, and phrase requests. Okay, so you're going to see here what I do. Now what I did is I basically surfaced the idea and focused the model on tasks. That's step 1. Step 2 is know what you know about me and my business. Give me your top 5 ideas and list them from most impactful to least. Okay, so the good thing about it is like, this is like, I was blown away with what it came up with. So we have high level reminders like quarter end PE portfolio nudge, weekly content sprint, active cohort pulse, right? Referral ask you. Okay. So the cohort pulse was basically like something to work. I'll do 8-week sprints to transform an entire go-to-market organization and effectively increase the capacity by 20 to 40%. I'm seeing insane things happening. Reps are freeing up 10 hours a week. Same with executives. But the awesome thing about it is they're closing some of the largest deals, doubling conversion rates, blowing up pipeline. And so that was what that was referred to. By the way, if you need ever help doing that, feel free to reach out for me. I predominantly work with teams of 30 plus sales folks or marketing folks within the team. And I'm working in upwards of 300 to 400 people, even more. All right, scheduled searches. All right, so like this is really interesting, like AI training, keyword sweep, PE-backed deal tracker, competitor offer watch, generative AI legislation. Okay, so these are good, and then conditional. Now, some of these, like there's not connections right now that are available to check HubSpot or newsletter or areas like that. So I don't think these are viable. Now, MCP servers are going to become available soon. I know ChatGPT and OpenAI are going to integrate with that. I think they'll give you the capability to do that because right now it's only integrated into my Google Drive. All right. So now I'm just saying, okay, set up number 1 and number 2 in scheduled searches. So those are these here: AI training ROI keyword, and then PE back deal flow tracker. So effectively, this is talking about like, okay, what are our companies that are receiving funding, which is a trigger normally you got to set up through like Apollo or one of these other areas. Okay, so now what it's doing is I asked it to set it up and it popped up this little example. Okay, so this is the task. So it's monitoring AI training, ROI chatter, and it expanded on what I gave it, which I thought was really good. It's got the daily, so you could change this. It's got the time of day. Okay. So that was really impressive that it just built that task on the fly. And this is what I'm saying it's agentic, because what it's starting to do is with gray areas, it's filling in the gaps. All right. And here's what I said. I'm like, all right, I want to test this out and see what it looks like. All right. So this is some pretty good data. 88% of executives are saying AI ROI positive. We got a 37% increase, data entry time, 1,200 staff hours, some really good tactical ROI examples. Snowflake, 92%, they're already paying themselves. 98% are spending more in 2025, right? So some really good examples. And then here's an example of the PE-backed deal flows. So it's got the deal, the buyer, and then the rationale within here. And it's even got the source, okay? So this is where it starts to get wild. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna mess with this a little bit, see if we can take this up a couple notches. Maybe I'll break it, who knows? So that's what I love to do. And it's got all the sources down here. So let's make the deal flow updates only be in the US, include the PE company investing, and include the chief revenue officer. I like version 2. So one of the things you did not see is earlier on, it asked me which example I preferred, and it's saying this is testing for the new model that we're creating. So I'm assuming that's GPT-5. It's basically giving me 2 side-by-side responses. So it updated it, and then I'm like, all right, give me an example. That's one of the tricks here. So as you can see, step 1 is, all right, what's possible with tasks? Step 2, how can you use these for me? And then step 3 is identify the task, how you want them customized, right? So as you can see here, it tested it again, and then it gives the PE-backed one as well. And as you can see in here, it's got the CRO now and the PE firm, but I'm like, shoot, there's still more. And I'm like, all right, please add additional columns. And this is going to blow your mind. Please add additional columns to include annual recurring revenue, URL for the CRO, LinkedIn profile, URL for the company, brief description, and a quote from the investor and CEO on what the funding will be used for. All right, check this out. All right, so here's an example. It gave the revenue, the PE investor, the CRO LinkedIn, and the company LinkedIn URL. And it also says what the company does, and then the investor quote, we're thrilled, agentic capabilities, cloud share, AI-powered labs. Okay, so these are all fluffy investor. This is amazing, right? Now here's an example of the CEO. The capital will help us accelerate product innovation. We'll double R&D and break into more Fortune 1000. Divestiture lets Boeing sharpen focus on the core. Okay. So one line strategic rationale is, look at this. Fortress sees high ARR, upsell, capital with SaaS ops to blitz the enterprise training market. And then at the same time, Bravo gains a sticky example. So I think this is something that was really, really eye-opening to me, because it was a capability that I wasn't using, and I kind of stumbled across it. And I was like, once I saw this, I was like, holy shit. This is amazing. And the fact that to do an enrichment cycle or a dynamic poll like this is pretty complicated to set up in Clay or a platform like Freckle. These take some time to do, and they're complex. So now I'm going to do quality assurance and check these over time, but these are just a few examples that you could use to start bringing in revenue immediately and really, really start tapping into this. And you could do this in the pro or even the basic user. So I'm going to start to set up a ton of alerts. I can't wait to try it out. And then eventually you're going to see this automations folder just fill up, and I'm going to even start to automate it more, which is going to get freaking weird. Anyways, I love this setup. I hope you do as well. Again, I'm Ryan Staley. If you ever need help in terms of transforming your team in less than 2 months, this is one of the things that I specialize in helping organizations do. And appreciate you checking out this video. And once again, we will see you on the next one. If you missed the part about memory or the AGI feature that I had, or I should say the AGI special focus on O3, you might want to check that out, because I think it's going to be transformative. All right, we'll see you on the next video.